In this video from Casio Help, we're going to demonstrate the out-the-box initialisation and basic setup of the SE-S3000 register. Should note this video is for only if you're programming the register yourself. If you've had it programmed, don't follow this procedure, else you'll lose all your programming. So what you'll need to carry the procedure out, the quick start guide would be useful. You'll also need two AA batteries. You'll need two thermal 58mm paper till rolls, and you will also need the PGM key. So if we follow the quick start guide, the first thing it says to do is to set the memory protection batteries. So you lift off the printer cover, gently lift up the receipt platen arm, and then load the batteries in the slot. There should be a case to remove to put the batteries in. The batteries don't give any power, so they just act as a temporary backup in case the till loses power, so they back up the sales and programming data. So once you've loaded the batteries and replaced the battery compartment cover, you can set the paper roll. So the first one to load is the receipt roll on the left hand side. So this machine has a receipt printer and a journal printer. Both printers take the same thermal 58mm paper roll, and you load it this way so that the shiny side is facing down. And you just close the platen arm over, and that's the receipt loaded. The journal side's a bit more complicated. It starts the same. Gently lift up the platen arm, load the paper the same way, but you need to leave a decent amount of paper left over so that you can load it onto the journal or audit roll at the back. Take up spool. The paper feeds through two slots on the centre spindle of the spool, and when you've wound it through the second slot, you can then drop the spool back into place, tightly winding the paper around the centre spindle, and then drop the spool in. We can now put the printer cover back on and then move on to the next section, which is turning the machine on or connecting it to the power. So you need to put the PGM key in, just the off mode for now, and then plug the till into the mains. The rest of the initialisation is actually fairly straightforward. You're prompted to select a language, you're prompted to enter the date, and the time. The machine will then go through the initialisation procedure. You just have to wait for it to complete. The only other thing that it asks you for in the initialisation is the tax rates. So you can have up to 4 different tax rates on the machine. If you're not programming tax on the machine, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just skip that. If you don't want to program the tax rates yet, you don't have to as well. You can do that in the programming menu later on. I'm going to program mine because I know what they're going to be, and then it shows you how simple it is to pop in. So tax rate 1, 20, tax rate 2, 5, and then enter all the tax rates you want. Word of warning, obviously when you come to program the machine, you've got to make sure that although you've set the tax rates up, you need to make sure those tax rates are applied to the relevant department categories or PLUs, but I'll cover that in more detail in separate videos on the programming. So in terms of initialisation, that's it actually done. So you could turn the key round to the reg mode to start selling on the register, or you could turn the key round to the PGM mode to get on with your programming. So I hope the video has been useful. There's more programming videos appearing on screen which you're welcome to watch. You can also subscribe to this YouTube channel or visit casiohelp.co.uk for more. Thanks for watching.